Happy Wednesday, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our next episode of Winners Wednesday. I am super excited not only to have Sarah Smith join us as a real estate agent, but personal friend, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I love watching these every Wednesday, so this is cool.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. It's a lot of great content with top producers all over the country, so it's exciting to see how everybody's path has kind of gone different ways, but everybody's successful in their own right. So with that said, Sarah, I know that you've been in real estate for a long time. I've kind of watched your progression and your success over the last few years. So tell us a little bit of how you initially got into real estate. What did that look like?
Okay, so and I had a really nice house for sale, and I loved my realtor who had helped me find the house, but I've only been in sales. All I know is sales, and I knew I could do a better job, as bad as that sounds. And I was like, there's no flyers in this house. Like, we need to tell people the facts about the house. And she was like out of the country all the time. And I was like, I'm going to get my real estate license so I can sell the house myself and it'll sell faster. And then, of course, the week before I got my license, she sold the house. So worked out. That was fine. Got the house sold. But then I had my license. And I wanted to be able to replace, I was like full-time in sales, and then I was also a Mary Kay director, which was a full-time job. So I wanted to be able to replace the other job so I could just work from home, so I'd be able to have a family and have a little more flexibility and not have to like wear uncomfortable slacks every day and drive downtown OKC every day. That was some motivation.
I love it. That's awesome. And it's funny that you say that, Sarah, because, a lot of people, and unfortunately, this is just, some of the downfalls of our industry is a lot of people get licensed because of a negative experience that they've had with their previous agent. So I think that goes to show there's kind of a low barrier of entry, but if you can make it past kind of that 2-year mark, right, then you're going to make it in the industry, right?
I always tell new agents, like, wait 2-3 years. If you can like last 2-3 years, then people will start calling you. I wouldn't trust someone that is brand new, like has never bought a house, never sold a house to help me with my biggest purchase. So, it takes a while to get some experience and just make it look like you're getting experience, and then after like year 3, it's like, oh yeah, this is easy.
Right. And I know that you're a certified mentor as well. So, if you are brand new to real estate, there's ways to overcome that with, I always believe either join a team or get a mentor. And I know recently you became a certified mentor, so you are helping brand new agents kind of get that start in real estate.
Yeah, that's brand new thing I just did. I now have a full-time assistant, so I finally feel like I have time to be doing the mentoring and things like that. I have the time because I'm not having to do as much paperwork and things like that. And so that's fun. And then it's like, yeah, we'll just work on contracts this week, and I'll give you a fake name and practice. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it. Mm-hmm. Like, I know my first year I only sold like 2-3 houses because I was at an office that did not help at all, no training or anything. And every time I wrote a contract, it took me like 3 hours because I read it 10 times. You don't want to mess that up. It's a legal binding piece of paperwork. And so it took me so long to write an offer just because I only did it every few months. So I'm telling these guys, like, just write a fake offer every week,
Right. No, I think that's, I think that's smart because unfortunately, I think in our industry, not every realtor has actually read line by line and understands fully the contract. And so I think that's something that's incredibly important, and you've got to treat it like a business, right? So, so with that said, how long have you been in real estate? And then what would you say has been like the number one key to your success?
So I've been in real estate a little over 8 years. And after I got past that, 3-year mark, I got to where I did totally replace my other income. I was working like 3 full-time jobs for a couple years, but after I got past that 3-year mark, I've always had some success, and it's because I have stayed in contact with like everyone I've ever met practically. Some people just want like a really close-knit group of friends. I'm like, I can't have too many friends. I've never met a stranger, and so
you're definitely a social butterfly. If anybody,
I love to meet people. And so the people that I did Mary Kay facials on 10 years ago, I added all of them, and it was thousands as Facebook friends and on Snapchat, and have always just kept up with their life and liked things. And then 5 years after not talking to someone, I'll get a message like, hey, I always see that you're selling lots of real estate and I'm now ready to buy a house. And it's thanks to my Mary Kay business from a long time ago. And then honestly, when I joined EXP, my business doubled, like it literally doubled. And it was also, 2020, all realtors were doing pretty good. 2020 was good for real estate, bad for the world, but it's been very good ever since.
That's awesome. So I like that you're really showing agents, because a lot of time people think that they can't make that transition of getting into real estate and then eventually going full time. So, you're showing that it's possible. It means, it sounds like you worked, mind my language, you worked your ass off for the first 3 years, having 3 or 4 different full-time jobs. So at what point did you just kind of make that switch and say, all right, I'm ready to go all in? And I want to give a shout out real quick to Melinda. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions while you're watching this, please go ahead and throw them in the chat and we'll try to get your questions answered.
So I could have gone full-time real estate sooner if I would have had any mentorship and help, if I would have joined a team, but really I didn't have hardly any help at all. And so only selling a few houses a year, I needed to keep my other jobs. And it's good to meet people. The more people you know, the more people are going to eventually buy houses. So it wasn't like a bad thing, but I did just have to work all the time. And I went to college in Ada, Oklahoma, which is like 2 hours away from where I live now. So, I would drive 4 hours round trip to go show a house for 10 minutes.
Wow.
So it was a lot of 18-hour days, which was fine. And I tell everyone, like, until you've made it, you have to do that. Like, keep doing it. But now I have a realtor in Ada. I have a realtor in Tulsa. I now have a commercial guy on my team. I don't have to be driving. I don't have to be doing this stuff I don't know that much about. I can just refer that out to other people that really specialize in that area and not spend my time driving all dang day.
So you learned the power of leverage, which is basically buying your time back. That's the only way to buy your time back.
Yeah. So it's like my income hasn't gone down, but my hours driving and hours working has definitely gone down.
Awesome. Well, great. So at what point did you kind of transition from a single agent to a team to now it sounds like you have an expansion team with, the ultimate leverage? When did you kind of make those transitions in your career?
Yeah. So probably like 4 or 5 years ago, a friend of mine at my office, she was better at like computer stuff, paper stuff, where I like to be with people. I would rather be networking. And so we teamed up, which worked well because we both have like different strengths. And we had a few people kind of join our team. And then when we came to EXP, it was like, we can all do this individually and still have the help and still help each other out. So we're independent agents. And once my assistant gets her license, then we'll probably be the lipstick and listings team. But now it's like I have these other agents that I've sponsored. They're independent. They get to keep all of their 80% commission until they then cap and go 100%. Like, they aren't having to split that with me like a normal team at a normal office. So we're independent, but all help each other out.
No, I appreciate you kind of pointing that out, because I really think this is, in my eyes, really one of the first models, or the only model, that really treats real estate agents like partners, as opposed to the old-fashioned model where you're having to train the team and really feed the team and in turn get a percentage. One of the questions Melinda asked, and I think we cover this a little bit, but if you have any pieces of advice, she's focusing on going from a part-time to real estate full-time. When did you know you're ready? Was there a particular moment that you knew you were ready?
That's a good question. And I'd say when you have at least like 4 months living expenses saved in the bank. Because, real estate, we're just commission. Nothing is guaranteed. So when you can afford to, then you can.
So you want to have that cushion just in case you do have some months that there's no commissions coming in.
No one would want to put all their trust in a realtor that is like obviously financially struggling. So yeah, I'd say when you have the money saved, but until then, you really can do a lot nights and weekends. Or if you can take a day off at your other job because someone has to see houses during the day, and then you can hire like showing assistants, pay someone to show houses for you. Like, I go out of town a lot. And so, you can hire other people to show houses for you. be a part of a team until you can afford to go on full-time real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, if you're liking what the tips that Sarah's sharing, go ahead and like, heart, drop a comment below. If you have a question for Sarah while we're watching this live, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. We'll try to get your questions answered. So with that said, you made that transition. You were doing extremely well at your previous brokerage. At what point did you decide to kind of uproot your entire business, which, you know, you're a rock star over there. I think probably one of the top performing agents in the office. Uproot your business and move over to EXP?
Micah knows this story because she was there. So
I'm everywhere. No, I'm just kidding.
She knows everything. But 2 years before I came to EXP, Hamudi, who I had never met, and Micah I had only probably seen at a few networking things, but I had been Facebook friends, and I saw that they had bought the van. If you didn't know them back then, they had this van that became the EXP mobile office, and it was in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, this exact van. And I had, guilty pleasure, I watched the Kardashians, and I knew Kourtney Kardashian's butt had been in that chair, and they invited me to come get in the van. And I said, yes, I will meet with you, because I wanted to see the van. And I had no intention of leaving my current office. I really loved the small boutique feel. I didn't want to leave, but I wanted to see the van. And so I met with them.
Being honest, right? I think we called it the office was the command center, right?
It was so cool. So cool. I missed that thing. Then we had some fun nights eating chips and dip in there after I came to EXP. But so they shared everything. They picked me up at my real estate office where I was a top producer. And they told me everything that EXP had to offer, and I was mind blown. I had no idea. And I mean, I'm a Mary Kay girl through and through. That's why my brand is lipstick and listings. I did very well at Mary Kay, and everything that Micah was telling me was like, this is so similar to the Mary Kay model that has been around since 1963, and it's proven that it really works, and it's all about helping the people below you be successful. And so I knew it worked, and I went and I kind of told my broker owner, like, oh my gosh, there's all this stuff the EXP offers. Like, we need, I wasn't like, I'm going to EXP. I'm like, we need to get all this stuff, you know? And it's like, you know, eventually we will. But 2 years later, still waiting on a lot of, you know, tools and technology, having to go out and find my own CRMs and website. And I was paying like $350 a month for a website and CRM that I didn't have anyone in the office to train me on, just tools that I was finding on my own, me and my partner at the time, and it worked fine. But then 2 years later, I was like, okay, let's just go to EXP where we don't have to do all this stuff. $85 a month is much less expensive than getting your own website and CRM. And so if I would have come 2 years earlier when I first knew EXP was awesome, I don't even want to think about how much stock I would have right now. It makes me so mad, but
well, hey,
never.
Right? Yeah, you came, and I personally believe we just got started, right? I think we're going after 500,000 agents in the next 5 years. Sarah, I know one of the reasons, and I respect this about you, one of the reasons why you didn't join is because you were very loyal to your brokerage and the broker owner. What advice would you have to agents who see the opportunity in EXP, but maybe have that loyalty to their local office that is stopping them from this life-changing move?
That was the hardest conversation of my entire life. I've like seeing on movies or something when like a singer's about to go on a concert and they like throw up first, you know, from nerves. I was physically sick knowing I had to have this conversation. I was leaving because I honestly like love them, the family. And when I think about it, I'd never been to their home where I had been to Mike and Hamudi's home a lot, and I hadn't even worked with them, you know. And what I tell people now is like, I'm glad you're loyal, and I am glad you love the people that you work with. But if they love you too, and if you are really friends, nothing will change about your relationship,
right,
moving forward. So no matter what office you're at, if they truly care about you, you will still be a friend. And I mean, that's all I can say. Like, if they love you back and aren't just friends with you to make money from you, then your relationship will not change, and you will still be invited to the Christmas party, and you will still get a birthday card, and we'll see how they treat you then.
Right,
And
right.
I hope they treat you great, you know.
No, and I couldn't agree more because I loved my first broker as well. And luckily I was able to maintain that relationship, even leaving to EXP. But I always talk about, there's a difference between loyalty and alignment. You can still be loyal to someone, but even loyalty has an expiration date. But then you can be aligned with somebody else. So as you mentioned, if they're truly loyal and truly a friend, then that shouldn't change it, no matter which flag you're waving. We've got to be more loyal to ourselves and our family, right? So I think you hit the nail on the head. And here on the comments, it seems like everybody's in agreement with you. So with that said, I mean, if you could wave your magic wand in the next 3 to 5 years, what does that look like? What does that look like for you? What are some of your future goals?
Well, I have some investment properties, and I always want to be adding investment properties every year. And I would love to where I have, more like an agent in every town and every state. So I don't really have to be driving much and showing houses, like I kind of already mentioned, to refer that out so that I can have a family and be more like helping other agents. And motivating is fun. I love to like create a contest with a prize. And that's like the Mary Kate director in me. I'd rather be more motivating people, but I always I love people and houses. So just continue to grow. Real estate is what I am meant to do. I've had a lot of jobs. I've like 3 jobs since I was 16, like 3 jobs at a time, because I get bored so easily. In real estate, there's always something new to learn. And then you can flip a house, and then you can have a rental, and then you can have an Airbnb. And within real estate, there's so many other things that you can do that I love to learn. And then I can teach my clients how to master that part of investing. Once I'm the guinea pig, I'll figure it out the hard way.
Well, you're a great investor. I know you've done rentals, you've done flips, and now you're doing Airbnb, short-term rentals. So I think that's great, because honestly, my opinion is every real estate agent should be an investor. Melinda asked, and maybe we didn't highlight this, I apologize. So where are you located and what markets do you serve?
Yeah, so I'm in Edmond, Oklahoma. So I do the whole Oklahoma City metro. Micah used to live here. I'm sure she's missing it right now because it's sleeting outside. There's snow on the ground and just like frozen rain.
Well, it's Oklahoma, but not that part.
Right. So I do the whole Oklahoma City metro, and then I have some agents in other parts of Oklahoma.
Awesome. I want to highlight one thing that you mentioned. So you mentioned coming over to EXP really doubled your business. Is there anything that you kind of contribute that to?
You, for one. Micah is really good. So we have these, we use Workplace as a way to chat, and we can chat with agents all over the world, and there's different groups, and there's referral groups. And so when, say, I know someone ready to move to California, I'm going to find an EXP realtor to refer them to, because that's good for all of our stocks. We haven't even hardly mentioned that EXP offers stocks, but I would rather send that to an EXP agent than just some other agent, because really it's good for all of our stock. And I know they're going to be well taken care of and have great tools. And so then I can comment in this group, like, who knows a great realtor in San Jose, wherever. And then people will comment, and Micah is very good at watching those groups. And then she would be like tag me. And so she's helping that way. I mean, I see her tagging people all the time. She has agents all over. And so she like, oh, you need someone in Bentonville, Adrian, she's the girl for that area. So that's been helpful, the referrals internally through EXP. And I think I just had more time because I wasn't having to track stuff on my own. EXP, like the systems, like everything is tracked. I can look and find to the penny how much I've sold this year, how much I've made this year, by hitting like update my dashboard, instead of having to spend the time kind of tracking and doing that kind of thing. I had more time to be with people and showing houses. So that helped. And then, global pandemic, where people stay in their homes and now need a home office and a homeschooling room.
Right.
That helped too.
I can relate to that. And I think this actually is just a great, testament to this. I had the comment up here, Melinda's an EXP agent, partnered with us in Tulsa. And, now Melinda and Sarah can make that connection. So, I saw a quote earlier, I think it was this morning, where it's hard to beat a culture, we're all shareholders, we're all owners, and we all want to see each other win. It's really hard to beat that kind of culture. So with that said, Sarah, if agents want to reach out to you and in other markets and see what that looks like to partner with you and your team, what does that look like? How can they reach out to you?
You can call or text me at 405-246-5032. I also have like a million Instagrams, Selfie Sarah, Lipstick and Listings, my Airbnb. Check out. It has a pretty cool Instagram. My Airbnb has an Instagram called Frida House OKC. So that's something interesting. Go follow.
I'll have to check that out. I knew of that one.
Send me a message. I'd love to brainstorm ideas.
That's awesome. Well, anything else, Sarah, that you'd like to cover that maybe we didn't highlight today?
Don't be like me and kick yourself. I could have joined EXP 2 years ago.
Well, good. Well, hey, like I said, oh, here we got another comment. So love the EXP culture. Think great. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you and Melinda hopefully will connect after this.
Yeah,
you know,
great.
I think a lot of people think because we're all are a virtual brokerage that it's hard to have the culture in the community, but I find that we have one of the best cultures, honestly, that I've ever seen, being a virtual brokerage. So I think it's incredible how we're able to connect, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
And like you said, you know, I'm such a social butterfly, and I like being in person, and I was gonna miss that in-person feel, but I mean, even with Micah moving to Puerto Rico, I still get to see her several times a year. You know, like we were just in Vegas, and in 2 weeks we were going to be in Cabo and
Puerto Rico and Oklahoma.
Yeah, we were in Puerto Rico. Like we still see each other all the time, and there's still like ways to get together. And now that I have the mentees, it's like we're gonna, you know, do lunch every other week, and it was really fun. I just had an open house on Sunday, and an EXP agent, you know, Katie Rose, she came in with her clients, and it was like, hey, and I got to, you know, edify her to her clients, or tell her clients how great she is. And so we still see each other all the time. It's not like you're just off on an island, you know.
I mean, some of us are on an island, but
yeah, love it. You know, and
well, awesome. Well, hey,
by yourself.
Well, I mean, even on the island, EXP is kind of taken over this community. Oh, yeah. There's like 40 of us that live within walking distance of each other. So it's incredible. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you, Sarah, and to see where you're going in the future. And, you know, I would highly encourage agents, if you're thinking about EXP or even just want to learn about it, you know, absolutely no obligation. Go ahead and reach out to Sarah, you know, find out what she's doing to help not just brand new agents, but also experienced and top producers as well. Sarah, I know that you're super busy, and I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much.